Hello there, hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to talk about mastering the higher time from order flow, which I've been getting a lot of questions about in my group, in my DMs, everything. Just people asking me just how I do my daily analysis and how I'm able to get these really accurate daily market updates. So I figured, why not? The thing is, most ICT traders, they don't really look into market maker models. They tend to just stick to other ICT concepts. And the thing is, the market runs and forms market maker models day in, day out. I mean, just looking at this chart, I could highlight a market maker model every single day that's visible on this chart right now. So the first thing you have to consider when you're going to do any analysis is what time frame are you actually going to use? And I'm telling you this, you only need the hourly and the daily for higher time frame. People tend to say, oh yeah, you use the 4 hour, etc. But I'm telling you, the hourly gives you all the information you need, especially if you are a intraday trader or a scalper. Anything that's happening just within the day, you're not looking at swings, the hourly is more than enough. So to start off, I just want to show you guys something that I preach every single time someone asks me about order flow. And I think you'll find this very interesting. So I'm just going to let you look at this for a second. So right now, just looking at all the candles here, right? This should immediately remind you of something. And if you studied under ICT, looked into market maker models, you should be able to see it right away. This is a perfect example of a market maker buy model and a sell model. So we've literally completed the curve right here. And this again can be framed into even smaller market maker models that are inside of this larger curve, right? And it literally repeats like that every single day. So obviously there's a reason for why I have also drawn these boxes, right? And this is a big thing that people don't really think about is how are you getting these reference points in your analysis? What are you actually looking for? And I'm telling you, if you extend PD arrays from the left side of the curve over to the right side of the curve, you'll see something beautiful happen. And this week has been a perfect example. Let's start off with number one, right? We have this CB on the left side of the curve. Draw it out. What is price doing? It's consolidating inside of the CB until we finally break out and start moving higher. And after we get out of this range, we come back down and we displace back below the CB. Do we ignore it just because it's on the left side? No. Look at how price is treating it. We move up into it and we get a beautiful rejection straight down. And what does price do right after that? See this busy on the left side of the curve. Price is traded into before, as you can see here. And look at this. Price goes into it, rejects, goes back up into the other CB we just mentioned. And then boom, we close below the busy again. And what do? Move down into the next reference point, go up again, find resistance, continue lower. Do you see how every single time price has made a retracement here, we've referenced the previous PD arrays? I don't want you guys to look at freshly created PD arrays because you don't know how price will treat those when you don't know if price has shown any interest prior, right? And the final one here, this mitigation block, right? Some people might look at this and think this is just a random thing to reference, right? But if you extend it out, look at what price is doing here. Not only do we displace below here, then go down here, find support, go back up, find resistance, and then as you can see price is kind of trading inside, and then we move up higher, but we don't go outside of the mitigation block. We find resistance, move even lower to get outside of it, and then price just kind of slowly moves up, finds resistance again at the right time, and we get a rejection again. And what do we see? Same thing again. We move back up, and what do you know? Right at market open, we get a rejection. Do you see how powerful it is to just use PD arrays that price has already shown an interest to on the left side of the curve? Now, how do we know that this mitigation block would work? Well, look at price using it right here to go higher, right? So it's showing us that inside of this mitigation block, there's an important price range that price is referencing. So price is using this PD array to be able to move higher. And the same thing goes for these other imbalances that I pointed out, right? We have the busy, which we clearly saw that price dropped into. Same thing for this one. You can see price is clearly just hanging around inside of here. And what is it doing when it's not hanging around? It's referencing the previous imbalance, right? Moving higher. Same thing here. Overshoots it a little bit. That's fine. We can allow that. And then look, moves higher. Goes above it. Comes back down. Uses that support to move even higher. And if you go back and look at all the previous price action for the previous weeks, you can literally do the same thing. Like I can already see it here. You know, you can just find your reference points using previous data. I really want you to take note of what I've given you here, because this is, people overcomplicate finding your so-called daily bias, even though I don't like to use that word. I much rather like to call it order flow, right? Because we want to trade in line with order flow, where if we see that the market's bearish, we want to trade in line with it, right? So if you realize what I have actually shown you here today, then you're probably smiling right now, because this is something that people really don't know about, even though it's so important. And it's literally the easiest way to frame any sort of idea on the higher time frame, so that you can go down on the lower time frame and frame your smaller time frame market maker models for your actual entries, etc., right? So yeah, hopefully this video was of value and you enjoyed what I've shown you here today. It's definitely not a long or very in-depth video. I'm just showing you how easy it can be to actually frame your ideas and know what PD arrays they're actually being used, right? Because not all PD arrays work. That's the key thing. And how do we know which ones are going to work? Well, if price has clearly shown an interest to them, we know, okay, price is referencing these PD arrays, then we should probably draw them out. And look what happens. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you have any suggestions on what you want to see going forward, then feel free to comment. So with that being said, have a great rest of your day and happy trading.